Hello and welcome back. In this video, we are going to do a programming assignment on functions. Let us discuss about the famous example which I discussed earlier, which is ATM pin validation. Let us write ATM pin validation. So what does this ATM function does is, it will take two arguments. One is ATM pin and account number. Okay, first account number and ATM pin. So it will validate whether this is true. If the account number and PIN is associated with the user, then it will ask you to whether withdraw the cash or check the balance or any other thing. For now, let me write it as pass. Okay, let us write this function. So if the PIN is valid, so what we are writing, if is valid. So is valid is a function which we will define later. Okay, let me define the function def is valid. So what does this function do? It will take account number as well as ATM pin, and it will validate whether it is true or false, whether the account number is associated with this pin or not. So for now, let us just return true. Later on, we will do some validations here. So what our function is doing, it is taking two arguments, account number and ATM pin. So our ATM function is first checking whether it is valid or not, whether the account number and PIN is valid or not. If it is invalid, it must print sorry, wrong PIN or account number. Okay, this is the basic thing. First, let us run this ATM off. Let us give some random numbers 12, 12. Let me execute this. Okay, let me print valid. If I execute this, I got it as valid. Okay. Now let us complete the function. If it is valid, if it is a valid pin code, then what happens? So what we do, we print it as successful. Then we ask the user to enter his input. Like, let us take an input from the user. What we take input, we ask to choose the option. Choose, that's it. Okay. What we ask to choose him. First one is whether you want to withdraw the money. I'm putting slash n so that I will get it in the next line. Second thing is whether you want to check balance. And third one is whether you want to exit. That's it. I'm putting slash n. Okay, let me execute this statement and see what happens. Let me also print user input. And if I execute the statement, it will ask me successful, choose whether you want to withdraw or check balance or exit. Let me click 1. Say I got 1 as the output. Okay. Okay. Now, if the user input is 1, what you are doing, you are just, okay, for now just write print you have withdrawn, and later we can write whatever we want. Elif. Okay, this was user input. Elif user input double is equals to 2. What you are doing, if this is 2, we are printing your balance is so and so something, any number. Like, let me just write 10 for now. But what we do in what happens in ATM, whenever you are entering your ATM pin and password, first it validates whether it is true or not. After validation, you will get to know these operations. Suppose you have withdrawn money, again it will after withdrawing money successfully, again it will ask these options. So it must be inside a while loop. Okay, let me write inside a while loop. See, first initially you'll get to know, you'll enter your account number and password. After validating, if it is true, it will execute this statement, or else it will execute this statement. and again you will be entering your account number and password. So what I'm doing is, while let me take a variable called max retries, and also take a default keyword like threshold 3. So what I'm doing is, every time I execute this loop, I'm increasing the maximum retries. So whenever you enter your ATM pin more than 3 times incorrectly, then it should exit. So what I'm doing is, while maximum retries is less than the threshold value, I can validate this. Okay, and I need to increase the maximum retries value plus is equals to 1. Okay, done. And what if the user input is 3, then you need to break the statement because you are exiting. So I have return break statement here. Okay, you can also use for else using for else here. What we do is we'll write for maximum retries in range threshold. So maximum retries will take the range of 0, 1 and 2. Okay, what is the use of maximum retries? Here we will be printing sorry wrong pin or account number, and we write /n you have retries left. So what does this print is? Okay, let me write dot format. What I'm doing is threshold minus maximum retries. So whenever I enter a wrong pin, I'll get sorry wrong pin or account number. You have threshold minus maximum retries left. Retries, sorry. So if my threshold value is 3 and initially the value is 0, you have entered wrong pin. So what will have threshold minus 3 minus 0, you have 3 retries left. Again I enter the value as wrong, again I enter wrong value, I'll get 2 retries, 1 retry and 0 retries. So okay, if we keep this as 2, I'll get 3 chances to enter my pin. If I'm not able to enter it correctly, then the statement will break. Okay, suppose I return false here. You'll able to understand. See, sorry wrong pin or account number, you have 1 retry left. Sorry wrong pin or account number, you have 0 retries left. Suppose I put it as 3. You get sorry wrong pin or account number, you have 2 retries left, 1 retry left and 0 retry left. Okay, now let us write the code for isValid function. Initially I'm taking a database. Like I'm taking a dictionary. I'm writing the pin account number as 4587 and the pin is 0101. Let me take other account number. Okay, let me take 5-digit account number. 600. Okay, 10-digit account number. 345. Okay, this is the account number. This is the pin associated with this. And let me take other example, other account number like 7354131 1234567. Okay, the pin is 0111. So this is the dictionary which we define. Okay, let me take the pin as 2101 2111 because there should not be leading zeros in an integer and dictionary. So this is the dictionary. So what we are doing is, if account number is in dictionary, so what how can we check it? If account number is in dictionary, we are checking whether the pin is true or not. Like what we do is, if ATM pin, so what we are doing, dictionary of account number double is equals to ATM pin. So first we are validating account number. If account number is in dictionary, then we are checking whether the pin is equals to ATM pin. If it is true, we are returning true, or else we are just returning false everywhere. So this is validation. Okay, Let me copy this account number. This is the account number. If I run this, see I got because my pin was not correct. What if I enter the correct pin 2101 and if I execute the statement, see this was successful. If I print 3, this was exited because I clicked on 3. So this is about a basic ATM pin validation. We can also modify this code. Suppose you want to modify it as your balance is 10. So here we want to modify this. You can store this in the form of tuple, where an account number has first input as first value as the pin, second value is the balance. Like let me enter the balance as 1000 rupees. Okay, 1000 rupees. The same thing happens here, 2000 rupees. Okay, if I execute the statement, so here you need to change the logic. This zeroth index belongs to pin, so I need to change the value as 0. And your balance is 10. Instead of 10, you can write dot format of d of account number. You are printing the first value, so 1. And if I execute the statement, if I want to check the balance, your balance is okay. Let me execute this once again. Okay, sorry. Uh, Whenever we are executing the statement, like 2, we are not printing your balance is this one because 2 which we are entering is a string because input is in the form of string. That's why we got an error. And if I execute this now, so I got your balance is 1000. So this number, this was the balance for me. Suppose I'm withdrawing the money. I got you have withdrawn. If I enter 3, it will execute. Okay, you need to take care here because one was actually an string value. We were assigning if user input was 1. That's why we got an error. Now we can also write validations for withdrawing money. Suppose our balance is just 1000 and if you are trying to withdraw more than 1000, so you need to get an error. Let us write this code. Let me also define another thing, def validate withdraw. What it is taking? The amount to withdraw. Okay, what you are doing, if amount, okay, it also needs account number because you need to check from the database. So account number, okay, if the amount is greater than d of account number of 1. Say d of account number of 1 is balance. So what you need to return? Return you cannot withdraw more than your balance. Else what we need to return? Else you need to return d of account number of 1 minus amount. Okay, let me run this and you're validating the amount. What you're doing, if, okay, let me print this, validate withdraw. What you're sending account amount number. So you are taking amount as a variable. So amount is equals to, you're asking the user how much amount you want to enter. Enter the amount. So he'll enter the amount. You're passing it in the form of integer. So int of amount. Or you can also directly write it here. You can take int of input. So take an integer input and you're sending the account number. Let me run this statement. Let me withdraw. Now it's asking the amount to withdraw. So I'm entering 10,000 for example. So I got you cannot withdraw more than your balance. What if I'm trying to withdraw 100? So I got it as 900. Again, let me click on withdraw. Let me enter again 100. But I'm getting it as 900 itself. I need to get 800 because I have withdrawn already. So you need to update the database. Here in the validate function, you need to update the database. So what you need to do, account number of 1 minus is equals to amount. What it is equivalent to? D of account number of 1 minus amount. You can directly write this by writing minus is equals to. So this will update it in the database. Okay, it was tuple. Let us make it into list because tuple is an immutable object. This was the database. Let me execute the statement. Let me execute this and let me execute this statement. So if I withdraw, I'll enter amount 100. It was 800. Let me enter 100 again. Oh, sorry. I entered invalid input. Let me execute the statement. Withdraw 100. 700 because initially it was 1000, but in the previous execution I changed the value. Okay, let me change the value to, let me check balance. Your balance is 800. Sorry, wait. Let me execute this dictionary freshly. Let me stop the execution of this program. Let me execute the dictionary. And now I'm executing the statement. I want to withdraw the money. I need to withdraw 100 rupees. So it is giving, sorry, here was the error. We are initially reducing the amount and again we are deducting the amount. So you need to change the value. You need not to return d of account number minus amount. Let me stop the execution and let me rerun this. That was the error. If I'm entering 100, I need to get, okay, let me update the database again. I'm withdrawing the money. To enter 100, so I'll get 900. Let me again withdraw the money. This time I'm entering 200. So my amount was 300, 700. Let me check the balance. Your balance is 700. This is the basic stuff how to implement an ATM program. You can also make many modifications here. That's it for this video.